we will understand them one by one. The purpose of it is the production of lines of energy in the three fires in and around you. That is the scientific purpose. Once again I repeat, the production of lines of energy in the three fires in and around you.
Three fires.
Three fire.
No.
Three fires. Yes. You just take the first page of the treatise on cosmic fire. The three fires are there. That is cosmic fire, electrical fire, and fire by friction.
Friction.
Three fires.
Cosmic, solar, and
So cosmic, solar,
and friction.
and the friction.
Yeah.
We should make lines of energy which serve a double purpose, to neutralize the already produced cross currents and lines.
Friction. Triangle work, for instance.
Yes, this is afterwards. This is called triangle work.
Yes, yeah.
That's why our brother named it planetary triangle. Now, on the three planes, we have three different types of action. On the physical plane, it includes service to the devas. So we have to begin with the Deva kingdom and tackling with them without tampering them. Previously we will be tampering every Deva by misusing fire, misusing water, misusing air, etc. So here we should make a beginning. Please. Daily purification of the body. This includes you have to take a daily wash of the body. That is a proper use of the Deva of water. And regulation of diet. That is the various Devas of the metabolic function. We have to honor them. And regulation of sleep and work. Regulation of sleep and regulation of work.
Which was the third one? At the end.
So the hours of sleep should be approximately decided, and regularity as far as possible should be maintained, and an attempt should be continuously made with the regularity. That's the next step. Then purity of sex life. It is a must in yoga practice. Purity of sex life. For this purpose, our span is divided into two sections. The one is called brahmacharya or celibacy. When absolute physical and mental purity, by not controlling sex, but by keeping the mind engaged in a more tasty subject, so that sex is passive and not taken cognizance of until the marriage takes place. That is one aspect. Then, after marriage, you keep purity by hygiene and way of behavior towards sex. There is cleanliness on the physical plane and on the mental and other planes also. Of course, there are many details, we can go into them afterwards, later. But for the present, we take it as purity of sex, which means much about our attitude more than the detail. The details will be clear to us according to the attitude. Next item in this is maintain the attitude of harmless living, harmlessness to others.
This is the second point, B.
No, in the A.
I see.
These are our injunctions in the A. An attitude of harmlessness to the living beings. Harmless. That is, you should not kill except to eat. And if possible, don't kill to eat. We can,
This to say, if we have salad, for instance, then we kill a plant.
yeah.
If we have an apple, we do not kill.
Yes, and also in the forests,
Yeah.
these people like Patanjali and his disciples, they have invented a way of taking fruits when they are ripe,
Yes.
and certain succulent leaves of certain plants, when they drop
Yeah.
in the autumn season, they will purify the leaves and they eat the leaves and they drink the water, like that. And not taking the roots of any plant.
No roots.
Yes, because we kill the plant.
Yes.
That is, they have made all experiments. We need not go to the outlines of their experiments. We can make an attitude and see that we do not kill as far as possible.
Yes.
So the attitude is more important. So harmlessness is a must, the attitude here.
How about clear land for cultivation?
What?
When land is needed to be cleared, when it's jungle and you have to clear the land for cultivation, for
Yes,
agriculture.
that's why it is called an attitude. Attitude. That is, when it is inevitable, you kill. But hunting and other things, they come under some other thing.
Yes. But this-
Suppose we go shooting.
But yeah, I think because that killing is one basic law in this earth evolution.
Yes, of course, certain
But
stage
because-
of humanity finds pleasure in hunting and killing
No,
and
no,
shooting.
not that.
Yes.
Yes, this is no. I think that killing for eating only.
Killing for eating is natural.
Yes.
A process which is
On this earth.
which is interdependent upon what we call appetite
Yeah.
and the need of the body.
Yes.
So that is a process which is a must.
Yes.
Now what we have to cultivate is the desire to kill should go. That's the main thing. That is exactly, precisely what Pythagoras said,
Yes.
expressed. It doesn't matter much whether it is the animal food or plant food. That is what Pythagoras said. The desire to kill should go. We may kill sometimes, but the desire to kill should go away. And the last of these items in the first is straight dealing with others. Straight dealing with others. That is, don't feel delicate
Okay.
and don't hurt anyone. You find a mean in the middle. If you don't like something, make it clear that you don't like it. If you
Yeah.
like, you make it clear
Yeah.
you like it, so that you may not inconvenience the other fellow.
Mm.
So this should be another attitude. These put together form the first item, that is fiery aspiration on the physical plane. Then on the mental plane for the second fire. The first item, first division is finished. This is doing it on the physical plane. Now we are doing it on the mental plane, that is electrical fire. This is called vocal aspiration. Vocal aspiration. That is practice conversation, vocal. Practice conversation
Well,
which does not stimulate the emotions either in you or others. A conversation which does not stimulate the emotional aspect either in you or in others. And the second item is speak truth in a useful and a palatable way. In a useful and a palatable way.
What is palatable?
That is
Acceptable to you.
receptive, possible to receive. That is sweet way. Palat means tasty.
Palatable.
Palatable. Make it tasty to others. That means we have no right to insult others in the name of our speaking truth.
Useful. In a palatable and useful way?
Yeah, useful. And this is a bit further explained by Manu like this. Speak truth. Speak palatably. Do not speak truth
With harming people.
harmfully.
No, then you better say nothing.
Yes. Do not speak truth unpalatably. That is the third item, third step. And do not speak palatable when it is untrue. When it is not true. I say, in your attempt to make it palatable, do not misrepresent things. That is the next step.
Yeah.
These two things form the second step. That is stimulating the electrical fire and producing the lines of energy in the second plane. Now the third plane. That is the cosmic fire. This is called the spiritual aspiration. First is fiery aspiration, the second is vocal aspiration, the third is spiritual aspiration. Here you should practice a tranquility of mind. Try to keep mind tranquil. And tenderness of feelings towards others. That's the second item. Tenderness of feelings towards others. The third item is silence about things not needed. Silence about things not needed. Here, it is more a mental silence than an vocal silence. Because vocal silence without mental silence leads to hypertension. Always we should remember it. It should not be a mechanical silence, but it's the silence of an attitude. Not needed. And then another item is controlled activity. Controlled activity. That is, just as you make an attempt to expand your activity, we like to expand our activity. So we should know where we should limit our activity. And we should know which items do not belong to us. Like that. Otherwise, we will go into great trouble and we will shatter the physical and mental vehicles. So this is what is called controlled activity. And purification of affections. Purification of affections.
Affection.
Affection, that is A.
With A. With A.
Affection.
With A.
With A.
Yes, A. That is our affectionate feelings towards others. See, if they are emotional, try to purify them from the emotion. It is a process of distillation which we gradually get.
Should be a mental affection.
What?
Should be a mental affection.
No. It should be an affection of the heart. Whereas emotional affection belongs to the spleen and the liver. Yes.
Soul, coming from the soul.
Yeah. The emotional activity belongs to the navel center, that is solar plexus.
Yeah.
Whereas affections belong to the heart chakra. The test is when we are agitated or restless about the affection, it is polluted by emotion. When we are tranquil, it is pure.
And it is always tranquil if it is in a constructive way.
Yes.
For the greater.
Suppose when we see our own people, sometimes we go into sobs and burst into weeping and laughing like that because in ecstasies. That is a pollution from the solar plexus.
Yeah.
These are the 3 items of the tapas. That is the first item of Kriya Yoga, yoga of action. 2, the second item is study and utterance of the scriptures. Study and utterance of the scriptures. Utterance also because the scriptures convey a double significance. One is the content of the text and the other is a key for music and sound. That is the science of utterance. The Hebrew scripture, the Sanskrit scripture, the Egyptian scripture, they are double in their purpose. If there is a word, there is a meaning to the word, and also there is an uttering vocal significance to the sounds placed in certain places, which are called Kabbalistic. For example, in Sanskrit, we have a word Sahasra, that is 1,000. It means 1,000.
It means
1,000.
1,000. 1,000.
In the scripture, a passage begins to describe that the Lord of the universe has 1,000 bodies as his vehicles. Instead of everyone having a vehicle, one is having all these vehicles like that. But here we have that is exhalation, inhalation, inhalation, exhalation, and this is vocal trill which produces the objective voice. like this, the scriptures are many times having passages that are Kabbalistic.
What is the word Kabbalistic?
That means having the significance in sound, in utterance, in number, in color. The key between any two of these items, a sound, a number, a color, a smell, a taste. If we have a keyboard, like the keyboard of a computer or a typewriter, that keyboard is called Kabbalah. And any passage or any book written in that manner is called Kabbalistic. We know the book Kabbalah, many things are nonsensical things are described there to predict, to prophesy whether your wife is going to kiss you or not. So, for this reason, the third item indicates, the second item indicates study and the utterance of the scriptures. It should not be an intellectual study only to understand the philosophy and discuss about it in the armchairs at night. But you should make the passages vocal, certain passages. Reciting the passages is a part of the discipline in yoga. You have to make recitals of certain passages selected by either yourself or your guide.
Yeah, and give shivers to your spine.
Huh?
Some of the sounds give shivers to
Yes,
your
yes.
spine. Is that no?
Until the vehicles are purified, we sometimes receive such actions. We have to repeat them until the action is complete. This is the one thing. For this should be done for three purposes. The scriptures contain three main aspects. One is knowing about the Om. That is the I am in you and its utterance. The second is the coming down of the Lord into mankind. It is called incarnation. Karnos means flesh. Incarnation means the word made flesh. Or verbum. That is what it's called. The Lord takes flesh to come down and accept the cross. That is the matter and everything. This is the second aspect, which is called avatar in Indian language.
Avatar?
Avatar.
This coming down.
Coming down of the Lord. The spirit along with the soul coming down into mind, matter, etc. And forming the various living beings and the evolution.
From different levels.
Yes. So this is the first aspect. The avatar is the second aspect. And the third aspect is to know the contribution of the ancient holy ones. Contribution made by the holy ones of the ancient times. So scriptures serve the purpose that includes these three items.
Why should you know this? Why
Pardon?
should you know the
Because
contributions?
it gives a greater incident or the story of a person narration, then automatically the identification takes place. So it has the finishing effect which cannot be had through any intellectual process.
It's a psychological thing.
Yes, it's a psychological point. Narrating the incidents and listening to the incidents gives identification which is not possible through the intellectual approach. So the touch of the soul is more readily possible with the narration and reading of the lives of the saints. Exclusively for this purpose, a separate scripture is given in India. Just for this purpose, to make ourselves identify. If we fail to identify with the soul touch, even after practicing the various yoga practices and intellectual discourses, then for those who have failed to get the touch, a separate scripture is given. Just by reading and narrating those things, we will get into the soul touch, and then again all the other practices become significant.
It's for inspiration.
Yes, to make us identify. That scripture is called Bhagavatam, to which I am giving an elaborate commentary in our regional language. That's why these 5 years I could not come to the West.
I see.
Now 10 volumes have been published. Yes, Bhagavatam. And there are 20 more volumes. 10 big volumes have been published during these 5 years.
So another 10 years to wait.
It is only in our regional language. It is very, very difficult to make it into English.
No, that's not the
So, you can be confident.
Oh, can I just ask one about the Kabbalah thing?
Yes.
Is the sound, the number, the color, and the taste refers to the sound?
Taste and smell.
And it's not refers to the sound of the utterance.
Equivalence.
Not the meaning.
Meaning is separate thing. Meaning forms half of the book. Other things form the half of the book. So these three approaches are given by the scriptures. Therefore, we should make it an item to follow the scriptures and make an utterance. This is the second item of the yoga of action. Spoke over. The third item is total surrender to the Lord. How to do it is, there are 8 steps to be practiced.
Right, sir.
By practicing these 8 steps, 3 functions are taking place in us. The one is the elimination of the impurities or the vehicles, elimination of the impurities or the vehicles. Another aspect is your awareness receives illumination of wisdom. Your awareness receives the illumination of wisdom.
What is that now?
Right?
Illumination of wisdom. Is this something different from illumination?
Yes, this is optical illumination. Similarly, there is mental illumination. Similarly, there is the illumination of yourself. The mind should receive your illumination. That process takes place here by following the 8 steps. This is optical illumination. What we see as light is only optic light. There is mental light. There is light of ion.
This is light of ion.
Yes. So the light of ion should be received on the arena of the mind. And the mind should be made fit. That is the second item, second result of following the 8 steps. It is called yoga of eightfold path. The third item is the light is familiarized. Familiarized. There is no use of knowing things. We should get familiar with it. That means the lower vehicles will be transformed into the light. That is what we call the light being familiarized.
Is that also, in other words, soul-infused personality?
Yes, soul-infused infused personality, or personality illumined and filled in by soul.
Yes.
These are the three items, three results according to Patanjali. Patanjali promises these three results by following the 8 steps. The following the 8 steps is called the 8-fold path of yoga. They are as follows. 1. Process of regulation. Just as we set up the apparatus in order so that there may not be any zero error when we use it. This is the process of regulating the physical, mental and etheric vehicles. This includes the following action. Of course, the things that are given in the division of the 3 will be here because it is a subdivision of what we have seen previously. The action, the scope of the action is given under 3 headings at first. Now the program is given under 8 headings. Therefore, harmlessness first. The attitude of harmlessness as is explained. And truthfulness is second. Truthfulness. It is speaking truth and being true to yourself and others. Truthfulness is called. And the third is freedom from thieving instincts. Freedom from thieving.
Stealing.
Stealing.
Stealing. I see.
Stealing is physical, thieving is physical, mental and psychological.
Freedom from stealing.
What?
Freedom from stealing.
Instincts.
Instinct.
On the physical plane, if I take any article, it is called stealing. But if I copy
thieving.
from your book,
I see.
or if I use some jokes of you in my lecture, it is thieving instinct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to make our things our own.
Yes.
Yes. It is very subtle. Sometimes unconsciously also we do certain things to make things our own.
If we, for instance, we speak about something urgent and do not explain with that is not coming out of ourselves. For instance, if you are reading something what you are touched very, very deeply, and you speak it to a friend, and you speak it in a way that he can understand it's coming out from you, only from you, then it's seeping. No?
Yes.
Exactly. You have to explain that you read it, you study it.
Yes.
In the Bhagavad Gita or something else.
Yes. A readiness to accept that we have borrowed it should be practiced.
Exactly.
So this is what Patanjali gives as the second item. Third item, and purity in sex life.
That was the fourth, no? Harmlessness,
Yes.
truthfulness, freedom.
Fourth item in the first step. That is the purity of sex life. That is celibacy, monogamy. He gives 3 items. Celibacy in the early life and monogamy in marriage life and passive attitude towards sex. Passive. Grow passive towards the attraction of sex. These are included in what we call regulation.
Yeah. 4 they have. 4.
Yes. The second is rectification. The first is called in Sanskrit yama.
The regulation.
Yama. Regulation is called yama. Rectification is called niyama. Niyama. This can also be called a discipline. Real discipline is included in this. Fitness, the first item is fitness and purity of the vehicles. Fitness and purity, fitness.
Yeah. I'm trying to translate immediately.
Yes. Fitness and purity of vehicles should be attempted. That is what we call the physical asanas, all these things, daily practices, exercises, all these things, sports, these things. And next item is in discipline, the second item is aspiration. That is, every activity should be aimed at your goal. That is, you should grow awareness into a cogency, a synthesis and a unity of your life. Part and the whole theory. Everything should be a part of the total, like that. That means we should do our time and activity meaningful and significant. The next item is study of the scriptures. And fourth item is
Scriptures.
study of the scriptures.
No, of this.
Scriptures.
Of these scriptures, generally.
Of the scriptures. Any scripture you want. And finally, surrender your life incidents to the Lord.
What are life incidents, Master?
That is, whatever happens in your life,
Related.
whether happy or unhappy, don't try to feel the happiness or the unhappiness, but repeatedly remember that the Lord knows more about you and your fitness.
Take them in stride.
Yes, He knows how to do it, and let us follow Him instead of deciding for ourselves and feeling happy or unhappy. That is these form the second item called discipline. Then the third item, is stability and ease. stability and ease. This is called asana. And unfortunately, the yoga school teachers, they confuse this with the previous physical exercises. This is quite different.
Oh.
Asana. Here, make the physical body fit and your posture conducive to stability and ease. And your posture conducive to stability and ease. Here you have to do alternation of effort and relaxation should be used. Alternation of effort and relaxation. That is, while practicing your awareness, to attain a continuous awareness, you should practice alternating these two things. Relax the effort and then apply the effort. Relax the effort, apply the effort. Then you will get at the continuous awareness. But if you don't practice this, if you try to make it continuous in the beginning itself, you will have strain, stress and monotony, and then a compulsory stop of the whole process. This is a very, very psychological and scientific point, which is based upon a higher order of things in nature. Because whatever we see, whether it is light or heat or anything, it owes its existence only in alternation. What we think continuous is only foolish. It's not continuous, it is alternating. Yes, the particles of light also, they become visible because they alternate with darkness. The positive and negative particles. Okay. So this is based upon some deeper truths in nature, this process. So this third step should be particularly emphasized. There is alternation of effort. Then also continuity of consciousness, continuity of consciousness is attained. By this, a continuity of consciousness is attained, and you will exist above pairs of opposites. Your consciousness exists above the pairs of opposites.
DK often speaks about continuity, and I wondered what it was. Is it a state where you are always aware, even when you are sleeping? Because he said in the world, what is lacking is disciples with continuity of consciousness.
Yes, continuity of consciousness, because they don't know how to alternate things. This gives you a mastery or your mind which is free from above pairs of opposites. That means opposites means light and darkness, heat and cold, happy and unhappy. These are pairs of opposites. And your consciousness begins to live above pairs of opposites. It is not touched by the pairs.
Observe and then order
Yes.
only.
When the pairs of opposites are going in waves, your consciousness begins to exist like this. Previously, normally it exists like this.
Yeah.
This is what happens in the third step, asana. So this should never be confused with physical asanas. Then the fourth step. Control of pulsations. That is what we have seen, the